All right, and last up for this, this first session from Germany, we have Desk.io, so come on up.
Hello, everybody. I welcome you to the presentation of PhoneDeck. It's a very great honor to be here at LeWeb 2010. My name is Frank Fitzek. I'm the CEO of PhoneDeck, and I will guide you through the PhoneDeck application. So let me start. I think we all love communication, but we are also overwhelmed by the increasing number of communication channels that are out there. So we have something like Skype, Google Voice, we have our mobile phone. The thing is, to structure your day, you need to be efficient, and you have to distinguish between important from unimportant connections. So who could do that? I think everybody would say maybe the social network. Your social graph could tell you something about the importance of a connection. But a social graph is very good to tell you whether there is an existing connection, but it fails miserably if it has to tell you something about the quality. So we believe the holy grail to create a real social graph, that is what you have in the palm of your hands. That is the mobile phone. And this is where PhoneDeck kicks in. We believe by combining your two most important devices, which on the one side is the mobile phone and on the other side is the desktop or your laptop, we can give you or offer you a unified communication experience. So what we are doing is, whenever you get a contact incoming call or whatever, whether this is over the phone, over Skype, Google Voice, we try to gather some information about the person that is contacting you. And how do we do that? We try to get some information locally from the desktop. We are using, for example, Microsoft Outlook, getting emails in, showing you the guy who's calling you, that is the email. Maybe you missed an email, look at this. We also try to get it remotely from the phone. The phone offers us something like names, phone numbers, but also pictures. Furthermore, the phone has also contextual information. Where are we at the moment, right? We try to fill this into this communication request. And last but not least, we also try to get information about the contact from different clouds. So I name only LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. There's some information that may be valuable for you. But I think the best way to explain is when we are going to have a live demo. So let me start the application. So what you see here is my dashboard. This is the PhoneBook dashboard. On the top, you can search for contacts. There's a number of phone streams, we are calling this, tickets, where you have seen what has happened on my mobile phone. Also, if you would have Skype calls, whatever, it would be sorted in. And down there in the status bar, you are seeing already that I'm connected to the mobile phone. And by the way, oh, there's Jens, who is in the audience, one of our colleagues. He's calling me, but I don't have time, so it's not so important at the moment. I reject by SMS. So I rejected already on the phone that is connected here over Bluetooth with my desktop, and I can see there were some ongoing stuff. I'm just saying, sorry, LeWeb, and I'm sending out the SMS. So Jens knows now that I'm busy at the moment. I'm trying to get the synchronous communication in something called asynchronous communication, but still, when I do a call or after a call, it's the best point to say something like, hey, this guy, we should be connected over Facebook or over LinkedIn. Maybe we also should be connected over Skype. So this is something we can offer already right now. Further things are, if I want to call somebody from the phone, I don't have to pick up the phone, which is sometimes. I just search for some people. I can see here different connections, pick up some people, doing something with that. Coming back to the presentation, as you have seen already, it's not that we only take out information from clouds or the remote phone. We also try to feed something back, which means we have information gathered together from different sources, and now once we have done the call, there is also a possibility to synchronize back the mobile phone. You know how hard it is to really get in sync your mobile phone book. So on the other side, we're also giving back information to the clouds, telling something about the social graph, telling something about the quality of certain links. Now, if you think that's a nice tool, will this work on my phone? This is the sweetest part. We really believe in cross-platform implementation. So already today, we are supporting Android, Nokia, BlackBerry, and Apple on the mobile side. On the desktop, we also have the Mac, Windows, and Linux, supporting also the major services. Windows Mobile 7 is not working at the moment, but in the lab, we are on it. So that concludes my talk. Thank you very much. I hope I will see you at our stand, and we can have a deep discussion about phone deck. And don't forget to apply for the close beta. Thank you very much.
So it seems to me like your business is going to grow increasingly difficult as there are more platforms and more screen sizes, and you know, Android is not, it may be one platform, but it's lots of different form factors. So how are you dealing with this this kind of explosion of growth in the smartphone category?
So I think that's a very good question, because what we are doing, and this is our daily business, we do cross-platform all over the time. So we understand the problem of cross-platform. We try, therefore, to foresee the possible problems already from the beginning. So when you do the cross-platform implementation, you want to reuse as much source even over the boundaries. So when you're talking about the fragmentation in Android, it's not that big a deal, right? Of course, the display size, you have to deal with that. It ends up in a lot of testing. But it is something that we have to deal with, but that makes also us unique against others, that we can deal with this problem.
How does it work for me as a user? Because does it mean that I have to reinstall everything every time I change my phone? That it will change my configuration, my standard configuration, for example, of a Galaxy? Or?
No, it's not like this. The installation is a very nice question also, because we have two things to do here. We don't want to ask the users to install on two ends. So we are coming from one email link, for example, we install on the desktop and bring it over to the phone. Of course, if you will bring up a new phone, you have to reinstall the application on your phone. That's like every other game you are purchasing, you would like to install it also on the phone. But you have the possibility to connect multiple phones to your desktop, of course.
How do you plan to get distributed?
Sorry?
How do you plan to get distributed? How will I have access to get known? What's your communication plan?
That is a very good thing. I think we have different approaches. The first one, of course, we try to have a viral marketing strategy there. So if you call me as a non-phone deck user, I can see that you're not a phone deck user. I could invite you to that. And it is already good that when I installed phone deck for me, I have a certain service. When I can convince you to install even on your side, we will have even a better service. There are some things I could not show in the short time that makes you believe to convince others to bring them in. The other thing is, besides the viral thing that may work or not work, we are also in contact with the main manufacturers, really trying to penetrate the markets, something like banners, where they are also maybe interested to get this program installed on their platforms and marketplaces.
So when I look at this, the first thing that came to mind for me was Xobni, right? And which leads me to two questions. The first one would be, why wouldn't Xobni just do this as an extension to their product? Yeah. Or maybe even Skype do this as an extension to their product as well? And then when I think about Xobni, one of the things that made Xobni really work and really take off was that they actually integrated directly with a program like, say, Microsoft Outlook. Yeah. Do you have plans? Like, well, I guess, what are your thoughts for any of that?
That's very good. So also Xobni, we have seen what they are doing. First of all, we have a native application on the desktop side. We don't want to make a plugin. A lot of people now deinstall Xobni because they think it makes Outlook slow. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But the native stuff will work highly efficiently. The second thing is, Xobni had already the time with a lot of backup already in their hand financially to come up with this solution. They really have one BlackBerry implementation. If you think about Skype, they might think about doing something like this, but I think they are more going towards getting their Skype application on the phones and then trying to integrate Facebook into that. That is their strategy at the moment.
How much it costs for a user to use that?
We have a freemium model, which means everybody can download it for free. But of course, we will offer the premium users a little bit more fancy functionality. And I think there we will have some people that will use it maybe 10 times a day, whatever. So it pops up 10 times. That I leave it up to your imagination what we can do with that. And for the professionals, I think they have a highly interest of getting further things like reverse lookup of phone numbers. If somebody calls me that I only see the phone number. So this kind of service we can, I think, charge for. And we can also charge for different things like getting the technology even better, like multiple phones attached to the desktop.
One last thing, when you started, you said that this was sort of it was about making contacts smarter so that you could prioritize. I didn't really see that pop in the presentation.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more?
Because of the time, the phone stream will just give you chronologically what happened on your phone. But it will also tell you which contacts are more important, like your top 10. It also sorted out stuff that you on your phone you have not replied on. We have something like something like called to do. When you would miss a call in the morning and you did not remember, in the evening you would see in the to-do list, this is an unanswered call, this is an unanswered SMS or whatever.
Don't you fear that this is something that all the device manufacturers will propose as standard as part of their address book evolution or mobile operator, potentially?
Yeah. That might happen, and we are even looking forward for this. It's not frightening us, because if Apple would come up with something like this, what would they do? They would put it on the iPhone and they would put it on the Mac. But they don't think about cross-platform. We're supporting people that have an Android phone and a Mac at home, so we can really make the bridge. And of course, there's the potential that some people will come up with a solution. Nokia has done it with Ovi over years now. They tried something like this. But it's not really going this full thing until the end, understanding how to get the context together in doing that.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Thanks to our judges, to Daryll, Marie-Christine, and to Stephanie for helping out with this first session. And we're going to be back at 11:45. Feel free to stay put or grab a drink. And 11:45, we'll get to the next 4 companies. See you soon.